or is it just primarily through one or two social media platforms?
Currently, we're pretty much all in on Instagram and Facebook. The reason being is no one's making any money on any of the other ones, and I can't be convinced of the alternative, because I study everyone's analytics and I look and I see like no one is ever making any money on Pinterest. SEO for artists and photographers doesn't really work. It never has worked. Search engine optimization. TikTok is great at delivering likes and comments and views, but the audience is older and not a tremendous amount of art is being sold on that platform, at least not domestically in the United States. So it doesn't make any sense wasting any time on those. It's much more important to go all in on the ones that do. So we focus our marketing there. That being said, some of the fundamentals and some of the content creation techniques do work on those other platforms. It's just a matter of like, why would you want to spread yourself so thin? You gotta, in the fishing parlance, like drive the boat to where the fish are, right? Like don't waste time where they're not. Like one of the case in point, like one of the things that absolutely infuriates me is people love chasing the shiny objects, right? As human beings, we just do this. And one of the most recent shiny objects was, Instagram launched a Twitter X competitor clone, if you like, called Threads, right? And everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go start a Threads account. No art is being sold on Threads. Barely anyone's on Threads. And so what did everyone do? They invested time, energy, and effort and hours to go learn some stupid platform where no one is. So I would go as far to say, like, a large portion of the advice that we give is in what not to do and what not to waste your time on, because there's no one deriving any revenue from that whatsoever. Pinterest is a perfect example. Like, great, fun. If you enjoy it, it's cool, it's visual, it's beautiful. No one's selling any art on there, and never really has. So why waste the time,
Mhm. Great, thanks. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. And where are you from originally, just out of curiosity?
I'm from South Africa, and my wife's from Iran.
Amazing. I thought I heard a South
Yeah,
African accent
yeah,
in there. Knock it around.
yeah,
Awesome.
great.
Thanks, Ellen. All right, Deborah, you're up next. Go ahead, Deborah.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I
Can
sure
you hear
can.
me?
Yeah, I sure can.
Okay, great. I'm sorry I joined late. I
No,
didn't
it's okay.
realize. And my question may have been answered. I actually have a question and a comment.
Okay.
Regarding Pinterest, it's a great place to get your art stolen.
Yeah.
Because every photographer who does a styled shoot, they go to Pinterest and steal other people's work as an inspiration for their styled shoot.
Yeah.
So that's what Pinterest is useful for. My work isn't on Pinterest.
Yeah.
And it won't be for that reason. I'm a portrait photographer.
Got it.
Mainly. And so I don't need people stealing my work. I when I joined the conversation, you guys were talking about print on demand.
Correct.
Can you tell me what print houses you guys use for your print on demand?
Absolutely. So on the West Coast, it's Bay Photo. And then on the East Coast, it's a company called Graphic Dimensions, which is they don't have like a storefront, but they're the same size and they have the same tech stack as Bay does. So all the same media types, all the same printers, and they just
all the same quality and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are my two main questions.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, little bit less overhead, but it's great. Like one of the amazing things is that when you have partners that are that size, they're printing in such a large amount of volume that anytime anything goes wrong, it's like, okay, well, what happened? Like the corner was dinged. Do you want me to send you a photo? No, don't send me anything. New one's in the mail. Destroy the old one. We'll cover it. Boom, done. It's like all the customer service is just gone. It's gone. And now you can go back and focus on the only thing that matters, which is how are you bringing new customers into the business and how are you getting the customers you do have to come back and buy again, which is the whole ballgame.
So that actually makes me ask another question.
Please.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
So that makes me ask another question. I deal a lot with White House custom color. If I launch my website, I have a website, it's fully functional and everything. Through your platform, is White House going to be an option for me, or do I have
it won't be a direct integration option because there's so much it does with the two computers talking to one another. It's like so hard for us to get integrated with a print partner, so we just have the two. But you can elect which items to use White House and which ones not. When you get an order, you just have to forward it, or you can automatically forward the email to White House and then take care of it from that.
Okay, so there is a way to customize what I want to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have like, we're completely like whatever you want to run, you run it. Like, we'll help you. Like, all I care about is that my customers are making money. And if you're like, I really like White House for like these 6 items, perfect. Do White House,
That's it. I actually deal with different vendors because they offer different products.
For sure.
So
For sure.
That's kind of how I do bespoke. Like the whole experience with me is bespoke.
Awesome.
So yeah. Okay. Well, I'll stop taking everybody's time now.
Yeah. Great questions. Thanks, Ira. Lola is asking, so how do you drive customers to look at our website? We don't, you do. We teach you how to do it all year long. Like that's what we do. I mean, we are, like I said, we are just as much a university, right? Because like, look, a lot of people went to art school. A lot of people went to photography school, right? Nowhere in any of those institutions was there ever a damn class that talked about how to price your work. There was never a class that turns out how to turn your creative talent into a actual job, right? How to market this business, how to do any of those things. Like, there's just no information out there, and it's absolutely infuriating because you have an entire generation of talented kids coming up that get no idea how to actually make money with these God-given talents. It actually infuriates me. It's funny because I've had a couple of professors recently from tenured professor art school. One guy from North Carolina just recently asking to come speak. And I'm like, yeah, well, just get some damn classes, in the curriculum. Like, it's so important, it's so important. Yeah. So Lola's asking, we do have, so in the last year, we created a new product called Copilot. And the way that it works, I love it and I hate it, okay? Here's what I love about it. Because we are integrated with your website, because we have all of your images, because we are integrated with your email, we then connect to Facebook, we then connect to Instagram. So what we do is we start posting and sending emails on your behalf. And when we run a sale, we'll take over your entire site and we'll do it for you, right? With this software that we call Copilot. So changing the announcement bar up at the top, sale today, 15% off, creating the coupon code, doing all of the posting on Instagram, all the posting on Facebook. And no one understands how to run a proper sale in today's day and age. It's yet another class. You have to tease the sale. You have to announce the sale. You have to know how to think through what the discount and what the scarcity is going to be. And it doesn't really matter as long as you have the two, right? Like, discount plus scarcity equals human beings more likely to take action. There's some sort of incentive, it expires, discount, scarcity, right? So we'll run all of that for you, as well as cycle through your entire collection all year long. We do that, which is great. But what we don't do is the marketing that you still have to do. Art sales, photography sales are 50-50. It's 50% the quality of the art, and it's 50% what makes the artist tick, what makes them interesting. Nobody wants to buy from a stranger. They want to buy from somebody that they feel like they have someone in common with, or they find that is interesting, okay? And so what do all artists love to do? Hide behind the canvas. All photographers hide behind the lens. And it is so detrimental. Yeah, Deborah's like, not me. It is so detrimental to attempting to market the business, and especially on social media. You guys have to show a little bit of who you are. And I'm not saying, okay, that you have to tell people what you had for lunch today. Okay, I could care less. But or that you have to be a Kardashian and you have to have a camera crew following you around, right? You don't have to do that. But you have to give us a little window into what makes you interesting. One of the things I'm constantly prompting my customers is what can you post this week that has nothing to do with your art? Start with that prompt and watch what ends up happening. And what ends up happening is people get bonded to you. They feel like they get to know you. As a result of that, they purchase your work. So Copilot does not do that part. And why I don't love it 100% is a lot of times my customers will think, oh, Copilot's handling the social stuff. I can just go paint. I can just go photograph, and I don't have to do anything else. It's no, you still have to market a little bit because there's no one else that'll ever do it for you. Everyone is running around trying to see that there's some sort of shortcut, and I wish there was. There isn't. You have to suffer and learn how to market and make noise. And if you don't know how to do that, it's just very, very hard to get where you're going. Okay, there's another Deborah in here. I'm here for my boss who has an AFS website. Can he make videos on his phone and upload it to Instagram? Oh yeah, 100%, Deborah. And if you're a customer, you can just come on the inside and see all the goodies that we have in there, which are guides on how to do everything, or you can attend also a live session, right? So that's what I would say on that. How can an artist earn income from earning a master's in fine arts and the visual arts? You can't. The degrees don't mean a damn thing, okay? honestly, they do not mean a damn thing. And if you pay a ton of money from them, I think they're a huge waste. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Not that knowledge is a huge waste. I think the knowledge is incredible and it's amazing to have that, but that knowledge does not translate into a business in the slightest. It just doesn't. So that's what I would say. Like, nobody cares about that piece of paper. That's not going to help you out. Maybe that'll get you into a juried show, but last I checked, there's no button on the ATM machine that says juried show. Okay, there's no button on the ATM machine for likes or comments or shares. Okay, or I got awarded something such and such. Like, okay, great, that's fantastic, but that's not your growing a business. That is winning some stupid award, right? Like, I get infuriated because I'm just like, look, okay, where is the revenue? Where are we going to get it? How can I make it start coming more consistently? And that's all I care about. I don't care about any of the other pomp, circumstance, or otherwise, right? So that's what I would say. Okay. Who else got questions? Yeah. Pam's like, an associate degree in interior design only got me a job in selling cabinetry. Yeah, it's like, look, the education does not teach anybody how to actually run a damn business, which is the only thing that matters, right? It's like the only thing that matters. You can study art history anytime you want. You can study photography history anytime you want, but that doesn't create a business. It just doesn't. So I get really, really fired up on that. Yeah, Lola. So you're a customer. Just go on the inside. Get into a Zoom session. We have 9 a week. You know, I'm running one on Thursday, right? Yeah, and Rihanna's asking, can you give me ideas on how to build followers on your social media accounts? You're not posting enough, Rihanna. You're not posting enough. It's that simple. Like, you know, everybody like, you know, always asks for social media advice, and they're never actually doing the work. So if I looked at Instagram, and let me just pull this up in order for everyone to see this, because I'm streaming this, I have to do one quick thing. So, okay. Early on, when you're trying to grow a social media following and you're trying to like figure out how to market on, you know, what is essentially the most important platform for artists and photographers, which is Instagram, you have a personal account. I imagine you probably don't have a business account. This is a business account, and you can only see this report, but I want to just show this quickly. You know, if I go to my insights report, okay, what insights defaults to is the amount of content that you shared in the last 7 days. This is the Art Storefronts account. You can see we did 26 posts, 50 stories, 80 reels, and 7 live videos, right? And that's a lot. That's like 175 pieces of content, right? Like, how are you doing that much? Well, I'm cheating because I have a team, okay, which is not fair to any of you because you guys are all individual artists and photographers that have to wear every single solitary hat. But the point is that we post an alarming amount of content such that we get better and continue to learn and continue to level up, right? And early on, what I see most artists and photographers, it's like, I don't understand this. I don't understand these algorithms. I posted my art 5 times and nothing happened. Posted your art 5 times and nothing happened? Post your art 5 times a day for the next 3 years and then see what happens, right? But you also have to post some other stuff too. And no, Deborah, we don't handle all of that for everyone, but we teach you, okay, and we encourage you, and we buck you up, and we hold you accountable. I get into mild harassment, but it's good-natured because I know if I can keep you guys marketing consistently and not quit, you're going to win. And you know the thing that is the least fair, okay, about this entire industry, and I'll be the first one to come out and say it, it should be a meritocracy on the talent. That's what it should be. In a perfect world, that's what it would be. It's not what it is early on. Early on, it's a meritocracy on your marketing. Because the best art that gets created doesn't sell. It's the best art that gets seen, that sells. And so early on, it's a meritocracy on your marketing, and then the work comes in and takes control. But like, you know, for those of you guys that were on in the beginning, like, show me another route that works aside from you doing the work and you promoting or you doing the show and Thayer circuit. Okay, the galleries is like, again, it's like the people that are successful in galleries are no different than the person we know that plays a sport. Pick one versus the number of pro athletes we know. Those are what those odds say. And it's like, we can be okay with that. You know, that if you want to play the lotto, you can play the lotto. The odds are terrible, right? But like, at least you're honest with yourself about it, right? And so I'm very opinionated in that sense that like, no one's coming to discover you. You're not going to get some sort of a magical break, and you have to be honest with yourself about that and say, I have got to go out and create, okay? I have got to get myself noticed. I got to be the one that does the work and get there. And when you do, and when you start doing it consistently, and when you don't quit, you are now better than 98% of the artists and photographers out there that are doing it, because they are all struggling doing the same thing, which is essentially nothing. And that's it. That's, you know, that's the ball game. You know, one of one of the things that infuriates me more than anything else is when, you know, actresses get on social media and they do things because they're just so good. It's like, what a leg up to be able to have this. But I love Renee, not Renee, what's her name? It'll come to me in a second. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to multitask and trying to find this video. But I think it's so, so good. Her name is Reese Witherspoon. Just watch this. I love this, okay?
I just got a call from somebody, and this is a piece of advice that really helped me, so I hope it helps you. Do not wait around for the phone to ring for someone to make your dreams happen. You have to do something literally every single day to push your dreams forward. No one is thinking about what you want to do or how you want to do it or what the mark in the world that you want to make is. That's up to you. So you have to actually do something to make it happen. And you can do it. And you're going to do it today.
I mean, it's like, it seems cliche, and I'm infuriated by how smooth actresses can do that, but it's true, you guys, it's true. Like, everyone sits around waiting for someone to come discover them. No one's coming to discover you. You have to be the one to do the work. It doesn't mean you have to sign up with us, right? Like, if I can leave you with one thing, it's like, stop sitting around and waiting. You've got to figure out a way to get the work in front of eyeballs, okay? And the thing that is also terrifying sometimes is like, you create a body of work, you don't ever do the marketing, you don't ever get it in front of enough eyeballs to actually know whether it's going to sell. Then you move on and you do a new series of work, rinse and repeat, right? Like, you know, the marketing literally is the entire ballgame, especially just in the world that we live in. Did you guys see, by the way, the Banksy announcement this morning? Does anyone follow what that guy does? Absolutely incredible. So, you know, case in point, why Instagram is the only platform that matters. So he found this tree, right? I'm not sharing my screen. I'll share my screen because that makes it a little bit easier. You never know when like something like this pops up. Did he do it or did someone else do it? And so obviously, how does he let the world know that he did it? He lets the world know that he did it on Instagram. Case in point, why Instagram is the most important platform for artists. So on this one, he essentially painted a tree behind a tree, right? And, you know, there's this like little figurine that like did all the pressure washing of the tree. And what was just so amazing to me about how talented this guy is and how like what a phenomenon he is that the headline I read in the Daily Mail today said, everyone that lives in the building is now terrified that their rent is going to go up because he painted that on the side of the building. I was like, if that is not like the master of all masters, I don't know what is. You paint an illegal mural on the side of a building, and now all the tenants are terrified because they think the rent's going to go up. I'm like, this guy's on another level, you know? But why did he announce it on Instagram, you guys? Because it's the most important platform for artists. Because it's a giant visual search engine. What do you guys all create? Incredible visual things, you know? So, you know, to go back to Ellen's point, it's like, that's why, or your name was not Ellen, that's your wife's name, but yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But who else, guys? Questions? Comments? Could be anything about anything? Yep, James, I got you. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. This is actually the first Zoom thing that I've ever done, so this is entirely new to me.
Wait, is this the first time? This is the first time you've been in a Zoom, period?
Well, first time that I've...
I was envious because
second.
I'm on. Yeah,
it's the second.
I'm so envious. I'm so envious of you because COVID and office meetings and everything else. I feel like my brain has been fried in 10 years. I've been taking off my life on Zoom. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I was able to bypass that.
Well played.
Yeah,
well played, sir.
But well, it was interesting because you just showed the Banksy piece, and I guess my question had to do with I know that you guys are generally talking about visual art and printable art, and my idea is bonsai and custom made pots that I'll paint.
Yeah.
And so do you guys have a system for actual
physical
material?
Totally applicable. One, I love bonsais. Okay, absolutely awesome. Some of these Instagram guys I follow for bonsais are just insane. Okay, insane.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I love the one Japanese guy that lives in England that they made a Sir. You know, have you seen his YouTube channel? That guy's so legit.
Is it Heron's Bonsai?
Yes. Yeah.
I love his presentation.
They knighted him. They knighted him.
Really?
Yeah, they knighted him. He's a Sir now. Anyway.
That's great.
That's amazing. So you know, one of the things that we realized, like, yes, so our founder used to started this huge paper company called Breathing Color. So he's just got so much experience in the paper industry and in the printing industry. But anyway, so we started out wall art focused. And for the first like couple of years, like we were turning away the crafters, the jewelers, the sculptors, the wood turners, you know, the crafters of all kinds, right? Quilters, all the rest. And then we realized, like, at the end of the day, our e-commerce site is an e-commerce site like any other. You can put any normal things you want in there. I have customers selling books. I have customers selling tours. I have customers selling classes. You know, you can put whatever you want in there. The same fundamental marketing problems remain. All of the same. All of the same. So that's the thing that you need to solve if you want to grow the business. And so it 100% applicably, you know, it applies. 100% it applies. So yeah, you're all good. And I love the model. I love the idea. I think you could start on bonsai and see how crazy big that market is. My guess is that market's not as big as we would like it to be. So you probably want a bigger one. But if you start getting some traction on the painted pots, you could definitely go somewhere, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe photography, you know, seasonal photography of bonsai itself might be an interest.
100%. Yeah. People love it. I mean, for those that are obsessed, they're obsessed. My younger brother is obsessed. He's got like 20 of them in his backyard, and like, you know, yeah. But I literally love them. I love them. I'd like definitely look at these guys on Instagram and just nerd out on some of these little forests. I mean, so awesome to have like 20 of those things in your backyard, by the way. And then you just bring it in as a power flex. You have like one pot that you put in, you know, your dining room table or whatever, with 3 giant ancient pine trees growing out of it. Like, it's so awesome.
Yeah. That's what got me into it.
For sure. I'm on board. I'm on board.
Okay, cool. That was the only question, really.
All right. Thanks, James.
Awesome.
Deborah's also a potter working in porcelain. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about the arbitrage of attention and like how to get attention as a creative, and it's the problem. It is the problem. It's the period. It's the end of the sentence. All of the above, right? And it's not going away. The world we live in. But in like a really positive note on things, and it's getting dark in here, so I'm gonna put my lights on. In a really positive note, like, I genuinely don't think there's ever been a better time to be a creative, to be an artist, and like in the venture capital, the VC community, they call it the rise of the creator economy, right? And it's just this notion that you can be an individual, you know, that learns how to storytell on this, that doesn't need any gatekeeper, any manager, you know, any bureaucracy to like control how many people you can reach, how much you can sell, what kind of an audience you can build. And, you know, it somewhat applies to YouTube creators and like, you know, influencers and all of that. But it's amazing. And you can do all of this without leaving your house. And before, when I was coming up, I'm 45, like, you were limited to your geographic area or spending a lot of money on ads. Now, you don't need to do any of that. And that's an amazing, amazing thing, right? But it still means we have to get good at storytelling on the most important device that there is. And you have to be contrarian about it. Like, you know, some people like getting upset and, you know, like, oh, it's social media. I hate it. I don't like the concept of it. It's like, we're all just fishermen. And the fish is attention. And in the morning, you go down to the docks, you get on the boat, and you have to drive the boat to where the fish are. That's it. And right now, it is on this device. Everyone, all the time, 24 hours a day. So, good news, bad news in that one, I suppose, because we do have to learn how to storytell on it. But who else, guys? Questions, comments, concerns? Can we anything about anything? While we're here, and like I said, if you're one of the ones that has a camera on, you can do the hand raise. Otherwise, do the raise hand digital thing. It's in the menu in Zoom. I keep updating this thing, so it's like it doesn't let me show. Yep, I'm coming back on. Tell me your first name again.
Yeah, sorry, it's Robin again.
Robin, yeah.
I just wanted to ask regarding pricing of artwork. How do you
God, I love this. Oh, yes, we do, and I love this. I get so fired up about this. I've written, I'm going to send it to you after the fact, but I've written like one of the most in-depth articles on pricing that's on our entire website, and it's awesome. Everybody loves talking about like, oh, there's a formula for pricing, okay? And I'm going to have to go on a 5-minute rant here, but it's worthwhile, okay? Oh, there's a formula for pricing, all right? It's the amount of time you spent, time your material, times square inches of the canvas to get what a bunch of bullshit, okay? The only thing that matters is that the artwork sells. If the artwork doesn't sell, you can price it any which way you want and it's not going to do anything, okay? So the pricing formulas is complete nonsense, unless, of course, you have demand, in which case you can use the pricing formula if you're so inclined. This is exactly another one of these things that they should have taught in college, okay? Fundamentals, the fundamentals of pricing. And you have to start, before we even get into pricing, with the 3 ways to grow an art business. There's only 3. There's only 3 ways to grow an art business, okay? There is to acquire new customers, which is what everyone focuses on all the time. How do I get another customer? How do I get a new customer? How do I get a new customer? It's number 1. Number 2 is by increasing what we call your AOV, your average order value. Now, the easiest way to increase your AOV, you can lower your hand, Deborah. I see it. I'll call on you again. The easiest way to increase your AOV is to raise your prices. Another way to increase AOV is say, hey, you bought this. Would you like to add this to your order for another such and such, right? So that's AOV. The third way, okay, is to get a customer to come back and purchase again, okay? To get a customer to come back and purchase again. And what you learn when you've been in business for any period of time is the easiest customer to get is the one that you already have. Now, to be a smart business owner, you have to be working on all 3 things all the time. How do I get new customers in the door? How do I improve my average order value? How do I get my repeat customers to come back and buy again? Okay, great. So now that we know that, the easiest customer to get is the one that we already have, you realize that pricing is not about some special fancy formula. It's about the range, okay? I submit you need prices from $0 to $100 with non-wall art in that price range. You need prices from 100 to 1,000, and you need prices 1,000 plus. And the reason is that the most difficult thing, okay, that all of you have to do is get people's attention and do the marketing in the first place. That's number 1. Number 2, when that marketing message reaches those folks, if you don't have items priced for everyone, you lose, okay? You lose. If you don't have non-wall art as a part of the lineup, then art is a high friction sale. I've got to measure my space. I've got to talk to my significant other. I've got to think about it. I got to marinate on it. Okay. Well, these lower priced items, okay, take your pick. We integrate with these merch partners that mouse pads, yoga mats, photo books, tote bags, coasters, greeting cards, stickers. You can do anything. And I don't care what it is that you do, okay, as long as you do it. And the reason is you can acquire customers with impulse buys. Okay, I like this artist. I like their creativity. I like what they're doing. And I want to reward that creativity, but I'm sorry their originals start at $5,000 and I'm not buying one of those today. Instead, you have a cell phone case. You have a mouse pad, whatever it is. Now you've acquired an email. Now you've acquired a customer. Now you have someone you can market to. And guess what? For someone like me, okay, maybe I spent $50 million on Facebook ads in my career, maybe more than that. I can only get people's attention when they're on this thing on Facebook or Instagram. When you sell somebody something small that they have with them, whether it's a cell phone case, the fancy little Positano one, now every day they're looking at your art. Every day they're looking at your art. So when it finally comes time for them to purchase something, who do you think they're going to go to? They're going to go to the person you had their email address and you were marketing to them, and it all happened because you sold this little thing you made no money on. And it's like, Patrick, I'm a fine artist. I would never sell that cheap tchotchke crap. What is it going to make people think of me? Let me know the last time any of you have been to a museum that didn't have a gift shop. I'll wait. Tell me which one, okay? If Van Gogh can be on the wall and you can go and get a calendar of Starry Night in the gift shop, okay, no one's losing any sleep over that because the museum understands you have to acquire customers. And what's also interesting is everyone plays the short-term game. What have you done for me lately? Today. Like, the price range ensures you have something for everyone in the socioeconomic bell curve, okay? Lower income folks, lower middle class, upper middle class, high net worth individuals, right? The 0 to 100, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 plus get you there. Well, guess what? That bell curve is not a fixed entity for the rest of your life. The people that can only afford your cell phone case and that are living in their mother's basement right now, 6 years from now are going to buy their first house and they're going to need art. Who are they going to call? They're going to call to the person that you sold something to because you acquired a customer. And it's like when you add in the merch and the sub $100 stuff, what is it? What does a normal artist do? How many pieces did you sell last year? Sell 6? Sell 7, 5, 2, 12. So you acquired 12 customers and you add in the lower end of the price range and all of a sudden you've acquired 100 customers or 200 customers. What do you think your business is going to look like in 5 or 6 years down the line? 100, 200 customers. Then it goes to 500. Then it goes to 1,500. Then it goes to 2,000. Then when you send an email, all of a sudden you made 35 sales. And where do they teach that? It's about the range. The range is the only thing that matters early on because you are going to acquire more customers than anyone else would, than you ever would, right? So that's really, really important. And then also it's important to have stuff at the very high end because there's certain people that would just, there's a reason they have a Maserati, right? They're not going to be driving a Honda Accord because the Maserati blows their hair back. So you better have something expensive for them because they're not buying anything cheap. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, right? And those sales are not as frequent, but sometimes you get one of those and you're like, that's more than I did the last 3 years in a row. So you have to have that too. So it's about a range, Robin. It's about a range. And when you have it, everything changes. And by the way, like a little side tangent, because I get so fired up on the pricing, one of the most defeating, most deflating, infuriating things about being an artist is when you spent all this time, energy, and effort and you created the thing and you're trying to sell the thing for $2,000 and somebody looks at it and they're like, this is great. Would you take $50 for it? And you're like, oh, it just deflates you. Like, does this person not know? And it's not that person was necessarily an asshole. It's just that human beings are wired to make decisions on the basis of comparison. So when you have the range of pricing, it makes it so much easier to charge more for your originals, okay, and to not get lowballed ever. When you do get lowballed, you're like, that's out of your price, but I do have some stuff in your range. Let me steer you to where those are. And it solves all of these like self-deflating things, and you get way less of the lowball offers because people can understand, 0 to 100, the merch, really small paper prints. 100 to 1,000, we're getting into paper prints, we're getting into canvas prints, acrylic, metal, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Ooh, 1,500, the limited editions hit. The limited editions go from 1,500 to 5,000. Now I understand why I have to write a $7,500 check for an original, because you stepped me up the value ladder, right? You stepped me up the ladder. So that is pricing. I will send all of you guys this article after the fact that goes through all the details of it. So that's what I would say. No formulas. I know it was a long-winded answer, but I got fired up on that one, Robin. Did that help? That sort you?
Yeah, perfect. Great thing. We're actually doing that. We've got all these items identified already. It's just a case of getting them now printed and put them into a packaging. But yeah, great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks. All right, next up will be Patricia, and then I will get you, Deborah, and then I will get to Rosalind. So you're up, Patricia. Go ahead.
Is that working?
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay, so I've been seeing I scroll on Instagram quite a bit, and I've seen a couple people who are advertising their coaching for using basically not even websites, but funnels and Facebook ads that people are making quite a bit of money in a short amount of time because it's more, they claim it's more direct. So is that something new? Is it something just a different way?
Let me ask you this, Patricia. Does it sound too good to be true?
Well, no, I think these people are making money. They're not. I don't think it's just all a fiction, and they're just trying to get you to join. I think they have a different, more direct way of doing it.
It is.
In other words, getting people to come to you instead of you dialing for dollars. Using the Facebook, using the funnels to direct people right to your website. So to translate everything you just said to me. Yeah. You have a restaurant, okay, and inside the restaurant, you can decide whatever your menu is, whatever the decor looks like, whatever the wine list is going to look like, what the desserts are going to be, and everything else. And you're like, okay, so there's these funnels and these new ways of doing things inside the restaurant. That's not the problem. The problem is getting outside of the restaurant with the bullhorn and screaming and yelling and getting people to come in because the restaurant is empty, right? None of those funnels and none of those fancy things, like it works for like, selling courses or selling like infotainment, but the key to all of it is how are you going to drive the traffic in the first place? And art sales are not
are not ones like the most advantageous way to do an art sale is over the phone or on a Zoom call or on a FaceTime call. The next most advantageous way, like, yeah, you have to have a website, but like it's about personal interactions. Like there's no funnel trickery that's going to help sell art of photography. It just doesn't work for art of photography.
They're just making like a wide net. Well, not a wide net. They're actually honing in on, specific people that are that have shown interest and buy art and have X amount of income, making it very specific, actually target marketing, and that then they contact you, and then you talk to them directly. I'm not saying they just come and buy your stuff. I'm just saying but it directs people to you in very targeted advertising, as opposed to just like me having my mailing list and sending it out and please look at my art and are you interested? These are a way where it's already, yes, you have to spend some money, but I mean, you're using those tools to get people to come to you in the first place.
Yeah, so the tools don't help with that in the slightest. You still have to get people. You still have to get people into the entity, and likely what they're talking about is Facebook and Instagram ads. I've been doing this for 10 years. There's only one thing in all of those 10 years that I've seen that every single solitary artist and photographer has in common that's run ads on Facebook and Instagram, or take your pick, Twitter, X, Pinterest. I've never seen an artist or a photographer do it consistently. And the reason is it doesn't work. It doesn't work for art and photography. Trying to run ads to like develop traffic into a funnel, it just doesn't work, because I've never seen anyone do it consistently, which means no one's ever made enough money to actually keep the program going. Like I understand you're bought in on it, you like it, and I'm not trying to necessarily dissuade you. I am trying to dissuade you from it. Don't take it personally about signing up for art storefronts. If you go into that program, you're going to light your money on fire. And I don't want to be right about it after the fact, but it's just not the nature of how art and photography sells.
So you don't think the funnels or
No, waste of time.
No.
Yeah, it can work for certain things, but it's not going to work for driving art and photography sales. It's just not.
Okay, when I come across one of these people, can I email you?
Yeah, I mean they're all the same. Like if it worked.
You probably know who I'm talking. Well, there's like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, I know. I see. I see all their same stuff. It just for me, that's just not how art and photography sells. Like there's no trickery. There's no special stuff that goes on. Like you market regularly and consistently. You get people to fall in love with you. They end up purchasing the work. It's not sexy, but it's tried and true, and it's worked forever. Like trying any digital trickery to like get people in it just doesn't work.
I don't mean to get in the weeds, but
no, it's okay.
Why are you saying it doesn't work? If it is actually targeted marketing to you, to your work, why is it not working? Do you know?
Yeah, so there's 2 sides of this whole thing, right? There's what happens when you get these people's attention, okay, which is like the funnels and the email follow-ups and the tripwire deals, whatever that is. So they have a technology piece there. So really the only thing that matters is how are you going to get these people's attention? So fundamentally, they better have something that's very compelling for how you're going to get people's attention. And hold on, I gotta. Sorry, Andrea, I gotta mute you. The only way you're going to get attention is by regular and consistent marketing, which everyone's doing already, or you're going to spend money on ads. My guess is they're going to teach you to spend money on ads because that's the only way that you're going to be able to drive people in. Well, that doesn't work for art of photography. Facebook and Instagram ads, and Twitter ads, and Pinterest ads, and Google ads do not work for art and photography. And I promise you, I'm not telling you this with any prejudice. I would wish that they did. They don't, because it's not how art or photography sells. The notion that like you can say, hey, here's my work. I'm awesome. Check me out. It's for sale. And then they're going to come and buy it. That's just not how art sales go down. It's not. They look at you. They say, this is an interesting person. They follow you on social media. They click on a couple of posts. They get on your email list, and 6 months later, they buy. And that's how it works in the real world. So, assuming any of these guys, and there's been, quite a few that have come up and disappeared over the last 10 years because it just doesn't work. You have to, there's no sexy trick, okay, that's going to drive demand, drive attention, and spending money on ads is a huge waste. Now, okay, shameless plug, I do have what does work, okay? What does work for getting attention early on. And it is specifically, I have a podcast, okay? I might as well tell all of you guys about it. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. It's very good. We're over 500,000 downloads, and there's an episode in here. Do I want to share my screen? I guess I can just put it this way. All right. There is an episode on here. I want to get you the exact number one. What is it? I have to go backwards. And this is like on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. So anywhere you guys listen to it, you can find out. But let me just get to where it is. Number 55. Smart artists don't run ads. Instead, they do this. Introducing The Loop. Okay. And one of the fastest ways to build an art or photography business, because every business needs to advertise, right? Like advertising is a fundamental part about it, is using and leveraging print and merchandise giveaways to capture email addresses, okay? And this works fantastically well in the real world capacity, and it works fantastically well in the online capacity. In the real world, okay, the people that do shows and theirs and put a print up that says drop your business card in the bowl or fill out to win this print end up capturing 50, 60, 75 emails. After the event is over, you email who the winner is, you give everyone else a discount that expires, and that's a way to drive additional revenue. In the digital capacity, it works as well. And so one of the things that we teach our customers to do is, well, one, I have all of my customers run one a month, no matter what, every single solitary month, to existing subscribers and to try to acquire new subscribers. The chicken and the egg problem is that, well, what are you going to do if you only have 3 customers and the only people on your email list is your mother and your significant other? That's a problem, right? And so we teach our customers to go and find accounts that have a ton of followers in your niche and get them to do the giveaway for you. And we see a great deal of success with that too, but it's a larger system. But that is strongly, Patricia, what I would recommend you do, and not sign up for any of the funnel things. I can guarantee you.
Okay, well, yeah. I'm talking to, I forgot her name, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm going to sign up for one of the, I think it's the one where you do the posts and the sales, the whatever they are, the flash sales, mm-hmm. or there mm-hmm. might be the giveaways.
Yep.
For a couple months, because I just can't do it, and I'm a little tired of being frustrated. So
oh yeah, well,
I'm not a technical person, so I need somebody to actually just do it.
For sure. The good news is the frustration is real. Okay. The frustration doesn't go away. It hangs around for years. And the beautiful thing with us is that at least someone has told you the truth, and we're all going through it and suffering together in community, which is literally how it is. And it's like, you know, the guys that get on the phones get so pissed off at me because, like, I don't pull punches. Like, you know, you have to learn a ton of stuff that you don't want to learn at first, that you're not confident with, that you don't enjoy doing. But what happens is that I believe that there's a God, and I believe he has a sense of humor, and he only lets us suffer so much. And then right when you're at your very lowest of the low, some sort of a win or a sale happens, and it's like the emotional reserve gas tank gets filled up, and then you're back up on it again, right? But I just, you know, if you were here from the beginning, I don't know what the alternative is. Like, you either do this marketing yourself, or you do the show and thayer circuit, ideally some combination thereof, a couple of in-person events, and suffer through these first couple of years, and then you have a business. Otherwise, it's a hobby. You're constantly frustrated. You keep trying things and then quit, trying things and quit, trying things and quit. You know, I like to be very, very open and honest about that, because everyone has to gird themselves up for like figuring that out and doing it. And when you do, you have a business that's growing, and it's an absolutely amazing thing, and you own absolutely everything, right? So it's important.
Well, I came to the conclusion that while I don't like spending the money, of course, but I just need help, somebody else helping me do it.
For sure.
I just can't.
For sure. It's hard. Like, all artists and photographers, for the most part, are also solopreneurs. Like, you have your significant other in your life. Otherwise, it's like just you, right? So
having to figure everything out, it's like can be very overwhelming.
Yes, it is. But we legit do a great job at teaching all of that stuff all the time, and we don't ever stop. We don't ever stop, because that need just never goes away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move. Can I ask somebody a question?
Yeah.
For like 1 second. Andrea.
Yeah,
I know she has the things every now and then. Yeah. Are you from Fayetteville?
No, I'm from Canada.
Oh, I thought you were from Arkansas.
No, couldn't be further.
Oh my God, that's weird. I thought I read that you were from Arkansas, and I was afraid to contact you because I thought, oh God, if she's from Fayetteville, I'm screwed. Oh, I'm kidding. You're from Canada. Oh, yeah. So is there anyone that teaches stuff that's from I swear to God, I saw Arkansas somewhere.
We have a couple of Arkansas customers, but not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I think
weird. I must have been dreaming. Yeah. Okay. So, go ahead. I'm done.
All right. Thanks, Patricia. Okay, hold on. I'm getting back to the gallery. Where did she go? Oh, there you are, Deborah. I saw you. I just have to find you on the grid. Okay, go with the follow-up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. A couple of things I just want to kind of piggyback on what you were saying. I'm mainly a portrait photographer.
Yeah.
Although architecture and landscapes are my other two niches.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as portrait photography goes, I do all kinds of portraits, including maternity and generational. And why do I point that out? Because if I take somebody's maternity portraits and they love me, they're going to have me do their newborn portraits. And then I'm going to follow that family literally the entire life of that child.
Yep.
So I have multiple clients right there who are singing my praises. I've connected with them on a human level. And that's what sells you.
100%.
Is connecting with people on a human level. I've had people who buy my landscape pictures because they weren't aware of me, but they got to talking with me in the grocery store and they love me.
Yep, and they want to do business with someone they know. Surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. And Facebook funnel things, ads, that doesn't work. I've done it.
I know.
For a long time. I started all this before there was Facebook. I started my photography journey in the darkroom.
Yeah.
Developing my own film and prints.
Thank God those days are over, by the way.
Well, see, for me, I loved the it was me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that was me. My carrier that had my negative in it was filed out with my own hands, and that was my signature.
Yeah.
But digital brings us a whole lot of freedom.
Yeah, I also like, we've been debating internally about whether or not to start a service-based photographers offshoot or specific software suite. And this is another one of these things that infuriates me, okay? Because fundamentally, one of my best friend's wives is our local Christmas card / she does like an Easter thing. She does like a fall thing, and all the moms take all the kids over there, and she has her spot and her lighting and everything else. And she does a great job, and everyone loves it. And then what she does after the fact? She just delivers the prints, or delivers the digital files. Says, all right, have that. Go do what you do. And what infuriates me about that is that you realize, like, okay, being a photographer is great. A portrait photographer is great, or that type of photographer, service-based. But at the end of the day, you're trading dollars for hours. You don't have a business on your hands. You're trading dollars for hours, and you're capped by what you can increase your prices to. And at a point, that's going to hit a wall where it's not going any further. So her name's Jess. I'm like, Jess, you need to have a table with an assistant while you're doing these shots that has the 5 main media types. I want paper prints, I want the canvas prints, I want the metal prints, acrylic, and you need to be showing these to the dads that are miserable for getting dragged to this ridiculous session while the moms are over there taking care of the photos, okay? And let me know that you have all of these ready to go and that there is an intro package where you can get this, this, and this. Then, in addition to that, I want you to document in database birthdays, okay? Wedding anniversaries. I want you to build an individual content archive of every single solitary family. And then I want you to email every dad 2 months before Christmas, a month before Christmas. We know you're a last minute shopper. Okay. I just want to let you know, I have all of these ready to go from your archive. You can knock out grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. We just added such and such. So you can get all of those things ready to go. no worries. Let alone if you sent a photo, happy anniversary. I can automate all of this. Happy anniversary to them every single solitary time. Happy birthday to such and such. Do you have any idea what happens to that business when you do that? All of a sudden, you're adding a complete other silo of revenue in terms of the prints. Because don't give me digital photos. Where am I going to go? I don't want to go to Walmart or Costco or someplace and think. Just give me the damn order. I don't want to become a print specialist. Tell me how it works. Show me what to do and say, sign on the dotted line. No one's got time for any of this. And no one even knows what the media types look like. So now, instead of an AOV, 3 ways to grow any business, instead of an AOV of $500 a session, let's just say you charge, now you're hitting $750. Now you're hitting $800. But it's not just $750 and $800, because if you look at the revenue from that session in year 3, you've made some more passive sales. In year 5, you've made more passive sales. You come out with some collages and stuff. Like, there's so many different ways you can do it. And now instead of making $500 a session, you're getting $800 a session, right? And that fundamentally changes the business. And then because you're doing this for so many different people, they all come to you as the photographer. They all come to you for the wall art. So it's I don't know why they don't have that solution on the market. Like I literally need to be locked in a basement and invent it.
Speaking to the portraiture experience, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bespoke before bespoke was even a thing. All my services are tailored to the client. Like, I interview them extensively and find out what they want. And when they're with me, they're making memories with their kids.
Yep.
I'm not replaceable. Period.
Yep.
My rate started at $1,000.
Yeah, but you can't clone you, and you only have 24 hours in a day. So that's the ball game.
Right, but part of my portraiture offerings is the experience that they have with their kids while they're having there. And you can't really, you could put a dollar sign by it, but it's a high dollar sign. People value authenticity. They're going to value those memories.
Yeah, 100%. And so, it's also a great way to, you don't want to be a portrait photographer forever, unless you do. But anyway, let's just say you don't. You eventually want to have a fine art business, right? That's growing and awesome and all the rest. And it's like, okay, that's going to take some time.
That's my landscape stuff.
Exactly. But now you have a revenue system that's keeping you fed and keeping a roof over your head while you give the other business time to grow, which is great. So awesome. Thanks, Deborah, for that feedback. Love it. All right, guys, what's been fun? I hope you guys learned something. I'm going to send you an email with all the follow-ups. This, that's, the others. One thing I do a ton on Instagram is I go live on Instagram a ton. So anytime you see me on there, if you have any question about anything, honestly, anything, all you have to do is leave a comment. We answer them all the time. It's going live on there like 5-6 days a week. So let me know how that, just come see me on Instagram, art_storefronts, on there all day long. But I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you now.